This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today we are going to pull apart a little bit of stoicism, shall we? Yes, we shall. So, this was shared, I think, on the Daily Stoic as an Instagram, but it was actually shared by a friend of mine in Melbourne, Mr. Nathan Tiepe. He'll hear this and be like, "Oh my god, it's me!" From Momentum Performance Training down there, and it's a Daily Stoic. It's written by Marcus Aurelius, and so I'm going to share that with you, and then pull apart some meaning that I have from it. So, it's from his book Meditations. Book 5, apparently. So 1. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, what do I have to complain of? If I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do, or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? But it's nicer here. So you're born to feel nice, instead of doing things and experiencing them. Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants, and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can, and you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? Marcus Aurelius in his private journal, Meditations, Book 5. So it's interesting here, I suppose. I read that, and one of the challenges for me recently is really getting down and writing the manuscript around all my other work for my book, The Human Movement, which is due very soon. And it was a good reminder. I mean, I still obviously go through those processes and still go through the same challenges, clearly, as every other person. Like, that's the thing, is that we're all people. And I think sometimes in conversations with other people, and definitely with myself, but we can sometimes get caught thinking that our struggle is like, oh my god, I'm embarrassed about my struggle because no one else is experiencing this, and I'm going to shame it away. And pretend like, oh, it's fine, it's okay, I've got things covered. When in reality, it can sometimes be really eating at us. But it's something that most of us, if not all of us, will actually experience, is this idea of like, well, it is nicer to stay in bed. It's easier to procrastinate. And this brings forth the idea of like, well, why don't you procrastinate your procrastination if you're so good at it? Which is quite funny. It's like, well, you can't just do that. It's like, I can't I? But what I get from this quite interesting is not just that I have to go to work, although it sounds to me that Marcus is saying it in a way that like it's just like, well, I have to go to work, as in like it's a must, it's a part of it, it's a duty, it's an obligation. Whereas my position on this is like, I get to go to work, and I thoroughly believe, and I'm fully aware it's just a thought, and it's a belief, which is a thought, that our work is our life. It's an expression of our life. To work is to live, right? It's to contribute. It's to play a bigger part in society. It's to leave a little mark here. And sometimes that little mark is simply raising a great child, right? Because raising great children allows for a better future for the world. And this becomes intergenerational. There's no shame in that whatsoever at all. But the thing about work being living is that a lot of people are dying in their jobs. I once heard that job stood for just over broke. And sometimes people are broke emotionally. Sometimes people are broke mentally. And it's challenging. It's really fucking challenging. But people can pull themselves out of that position. There's a lot of things to get in order and affairs to get sorted, but it's not unrealistic. You know, what is unrealistic is living a whole life, doing shit you hate for people you don't like, for things that don't matter long term, and being true to yourself every single day and trying to do that. It's unrealistic. And we know it. And some people are listening to this right now that are like, some part of them is fucking eating them up inside, because you fucking know this. Everything that I've said so far in this podcast, probably in all of my podcasts, all of you already know. When something lands for us, when something makes sense for us, it's not like, oh my god, that's amazing. It's like, fuck. That feeling that I get, that hook in my stomach, is because I already know that. I just haven't looked at it yet. I haven't really given myself permission to look at that, see my shortcomings and be honest with myself. That's the power. That is the beauty. The thing is, it's so interesting, right, is that we have an opportunity every single fucking day when we get up. We have an opportunity to contribute, to be able to give, to express. This is why playing small serves no one, because maybe you're not going to be the person that cures cancer, or maybe you're not going to be the person that finds the perfect balance of political structure. But maybe you could inspire the person that would. But you're not going to do that by telling them that's just how we do it here, right? Well, it's like, well, you go to college and you get a good job and then you buy a mortgage, and if you save enough, maybe you'll get another house and then you can rent that, and that's how you live a good life. It's like, no. There are a lot of wealthy people, and I'm not saying wealth is bad at all. That's clearly at all what I'm saying. But there's a lot of wealthy people that go to the grave with a lot of resentment, with a lot of regret, because money couldn't buy back the things that they did that they knew was morally wrong for them. Some of them are in denial, fair enough, oblivious. The other thing about it, though, is that how much can someone pay you to hate yourself? How much can someone pay you to hate your job? For some people, that number's lower than we actually think. I saw something today where it was like, CEOs, they're overpaid, but a lot of them are like suffering crazy in private. No one knows about it. It's like, man, people have cried for $40,000 jobs. It's like, yeah. How much can someone pay you to be unhappy? It's a really powerful question, and I like the fact that I think that's Led Zeppelin in the background. I should play all my podcasts to Led Zeppelin. So, my point here being is that you have an opportunity every single day to contribute to your life's work, which contributes to a larger community and a larger social structure. Now, you can wake up and you can go back to sleep. When I say go back to sleep, I'm not saying hit snooze and put your head back on the pillow. I'm talking about getting up and going to a job, something that's killing your soul long term, right? And being asleep to the truth. That's what I'm referring to. Every single day we take the red pill or we take the blue pill. It's really challenging to break that. It's really challenging to choose to take the red pill. But it frees us. It frees us long term. And if you're not familiar with the red pill or the blue pill, feel free to watch The Matrix. Otherwise, what I'm really getting at, what I'm really pointing at here is waking up to the truth, to the constructs, to the structures, to the things that we built, the reality that we built with our eyes that we call the truth. It's not the truth, it's our truth. And we can change our truth because we have the actual ability to change our subjective experience. I spoke to someone today and I said to them about, they were joking, said that I may be frustrated with somebody. And I'm like, well, I actually know that I can't actually be frustrated. I was playing with them, but I can't actually be frustrated at someone. And they, kind of like, oh, of course you can't. It's like, no, I feel frustrated. That frustration arises in me. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just cognitively aware that person isn't the cause of it. My experience is the problem. So how am I mapping out my experience is the question. What's really going on for me? Because like I've mentioned before, you can't hate someone. You only hate your experience of someone. I mean, the dog for me is a perfect example. I grew up in quite a hostile sort of environment, especially from 10 years onwards. And I'm seeing parts of that is like where anger comes up for me really quickly. And I'm seeing it and I'm like, holy shit, I never knew this was there. Not in this framework anyway, And so it's so interesting is that we have this ability to be able to see that and just accept it. That's just the way I am. Well, the job's just what you do. It's like, okay, keep taking the blue pill. But my challenge for you is tomorrow when you wake up, choose a red pill. It's fucking bitter. It's hard to swallow. But it will free you. And funnily enough, somehow, I know those of you that want to get the message from this, you'll get it. Whereas to some other people, it'll just sound crazy. And my offer for you is take the blue pill. Otherwise, that's it. I'm out. Until tomorrow. You know the drill, guys. Peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.